Hey guys, this is Goblin King Bob, and I'm gonna do a counter burn deck with you today. So we're gonna start with the lands. I'm running 4 Izzet Guild Gates. Comes into play tap, and it taps for a red or blue. Pretty standard. 4 Steam Vents is the shock land for red and blue. I'm running 5 islands and 7 mountains. Only 20 land on the deck because everything's pretty much low mana cost. I was running at 24 and just kept getting flooded and kept getting flooded, so I dropped it down a little bit, and it seems to be working fine now. So we're going to move on to the instants and sorceries. Alright, we're going to start with the 1-drops. Running 3 Swan Songs. It's for 1 blue, and it counters target enchantment, instant, or sorcery spell, and its controller puts a 2/2 flying bird onto the battlefield. You are giving your opponent a creature. This deck really doesn't run a lot of creatures in it, but it's better than something crazy happening like they Sphinx for a lot, because that's going to let them gain life. You don't want to do that. They go like to kill a gutter snipe. You don't want them to kill your gutter snipe later when we get to them. So you can, for 4 mana, drop a gutter snipe, leave 1 blue open, and have him protected for 1 spell at least for that next turn. And he's going to burn them for 2 when you counter it. So it works out pretty good. All right. Now we're going to 2-drops. I'm running 1 Cyclonic Rift. I'm only running 1 because it's really good late game and it's okay early game. Early game you can pay 1 blue and 1 and return a non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. That's pretty decent. But what you don't want to happen is to do it to something you really don't want it to happen. If you can burn it, then do not play it. Save it for late game. Because late game, they have a massive amount of things on the field. You can just, for 7 mana, just get rid of it. Boom, it's gone. So like I said, I'm only running 1 of them at this time. It might go up. I'm not too sure yet. Alright. Still in the 2-drops here. I'm running 4 Lightning Strikes. For 1 red and 1. It does 3 damage to target creature or player. It's an instant. Pretty much there for burn. Use it for creatures, but most of the time you want to kind of hit them in the face with it, and unless you have to kill the creature. If you can get around not killing the creature with the burn spells, it's good, but sometimes you gotta burn them with it. Alright, running 3 Skull Cracks. Again, this is mainly for life gain. Like if they Sphinx Revelation, in response you can Skull Crack them. They don't gain the life. It's for 1 red and 1. It burns for 3, and players can't prevent damage and can't gain life this turn. So I mean, it's a really good card, especially if you're playing against red, white, and blue, or white and blue. A lot of people do where I play at, so that's the reason I'm running 3 of them. All right, running 4 Magma Jets, 1 red and 1, deals 2 damage. You scry 2. Pretty good. It doesn't do as much damage as the other 2 mana spells, but it lets you scry for 2. So you can either get the land if you need to, or get to a different spell if you need to. So I mean, it works out pretty nice. Running 4 Izzet Charms. I'm running 4 Izzet Charms is because it does multiple things. It's 1 red and 1 blue, and it counters a non-creature spell unless it's a control plays 2, or it deals a creature 2 damage, or it'll let you draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. So it's card draw, a counter spell, or creature removal if you need it. That's the reason I run 4 of them. They work out. I'm running 3 Counterflux. A lot of people don't like it because it is mana specific. It costs 2 blue and 1 red to cast the counter spell, which is like not too good compared to like dissolve and cancel. But the difference is this one can't be countered, whereas a dissolve and a cancel, if you go to counter their spell, they can counter it. So late game, Counterflux is really awesome. It saved me a couple of games. They dropped something. I've had someone drop a I had someone drop a Stormbred Dragon on me, and they were playing red and blue as well, and he had enough mana to drop the dragon and counter a spell, but with the counter plus he couldn't counter it. I'm not sure if he had a counter spell or not, but it saved me, I think, at that point. Alright, running 3 Dissolve. It counters a spell and lets you scry 1. Um, again, like I said, this is a counter burn deck, so you're having to run a little bit of everything. And then it lets you scry 1. Then for the 4 drop, I'm running 3 Steam Augury. In my opinion, it's a good card. 1 red, 1 blue, and 2 real top 5 cards. You separate them into 2 piles. Your opponent picks a pile, and you get that pile. A lot of people I've talked to, they don't like the card because it gives your opponent a choice. But the difference is, though, is if the top 5 cards are good, then you have nothing to worry about. I've done the top 5 cards, got a Skullcrack, a Lightning Strike, 2 Gutter Snipes, and a land. So I separated where I got a Gutter Snipe and a burn, or a Gutter Snipe, a burn, and a land. So either way, it was worth the 4 mana, and then, you were getting 2 good cards out of it at least. So in my opinion, it's a real good card. There's not too much draw spell right now. You can run Divination and a couple of other ones, but kind of a little bit higher in mana. So that's the spells for the deck, and we're going to move on to the creatures now. Alright, you guys, we're going to get with the creatures now. I'm running 2 Chandra's Phoenix, 2 red and 1 flying haste, and it's a 2/2, but whenever you burn an opponent with a instant or sorcery spell, it'll come from your graveyard back to your hand, so it kind of recurs a pretty good bit, even if they do kill it. Or like if you Izzet Charm to draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. If you've got one in your hand, you're not worried about discarding that card because you can get it back. Sometimes you're lucky and you have both. Then you can turn around and burn them later on and get the 2 Phoenixes back. It's a real good card in my opinion. Running 4 Gutter Snipes. He's pretty much one of the kill cards in the deck. He is 1 red and 2. Whenever he casts an instant or a sorcery, he burns each opponent for 2. Real good card. Like if you counter a spell, he's going to burn them for 2. You Steam Augury, he's going to burn for 2. You Lightning Strike him, he's going to burn. They're going to take 5 total. 3 from the spell and 2 from him. So he's a real good card. You want to not cast him as soon as you can cast him. Most of the time you want to be able to cast him and then be able to counter a spell to keep him out there. But if you're playing something like a white-blue deck or a white and blue, which only thing really got is Attention Sphere, or mono green or something, they're going to have a hard time getting rid of him, you can go ahead and drop him on turn 3. Like I said, he's going to force through a lot of damage. The next creature's going to force through pretty good damage is the Spellheart Chimera. For 3 mana, 1 red, 1 blue, and 1, he's a star of 3 with flying and trample. His power is equal to the number of instants and sorceries in your graveyard. With this deck, he's going to be pretty big. Maybe not on turn 3 if you drop him on turn 3, but on turn 4 or 5, he's pretty much a 5/3 or bigger. So he's pretty good. Then last 2 creatures are clones. I was running Stormbreath Dragon in the deck. The reason I took him out was because I'm not making my opponents draw cards. So unless they're drawing cards, his monster effect is really not going to be of any use besides he does get bigger. He is a 5 mana, 4/4 with flying haste protection from white. But the thing with the clones is if your opponent drops something that you can't handle and you can't kill, you can clone it, and you got the same thing on the side of the field. Or if they drop a Stormbreath Dragon, you can clone the Stormbreath Dragon and you have one too. So it kind of mirror matches whatever they're doing at that time. So in my opinion, they're really great cards. Alright, we're going to move to the sideboard now. Now we're back to that sideboard. Running 3 Quickens, 1 blue instant. The next sorcery spell you would cast this turn can be cast as an instant. Alright, in the main deck, I'm not running too many sorceries, so it's irrelevant in the main deck, except that for 1 blue mana, it does do that effect and lets you draw a card. So if anything, it's 1 blue mana and you get to draw a card, which is really awesome at the same time. But in the sideboard, there's a few more sorceries. We'll get to that in just a second. running 3 rapid hybridizations. I am running this just in case I run into a mono green deck and they've got a bunch of fatties. I can just turn them into a 3/3 lizard and hopefully be able to kill them with a burn spell. So I mean it works out. They draw something you can't handle, or if they go to kill your gutter snipe, you can rapid hybridization the gutter snipe and you got a 3/3 beater on the field too. So either way it works. You can, if you can't counter their spell from killing it, you can get a 3/3 out of it. So either way, kind of helps you out. Alright, running 2 Mizium Mortars for 1 red and 1 sorcery. It deals 4 damage to target creature you don't control. But for 3 red and 3 colorless, it'll deal 4 damage to each creature you don't control. So at the same time, it's pretty good late game and pretty good early game because it's hard to stop a Lexodon Smiter because he's a 3 mana 4/4 that can't be countered. So he's going to be your big, oh my god, you know, he's going to hurt a pretty good bit if they start dropping it on you. So you can Mizium Mortars it or Rapid Hybridization it. So either way, you're getting rid of it. And the 3/3 is a lot better to deal with than a 4/4 for most of the burn spells. Alright, now we're going to move to running 3 Anger at the Gods on the sideboard because it deals 3 damage to each creature. And they're exiled. So if you run across a junk deck, because and I know how that is, I was playing junk for a while. If it kills it, it's gone. A lot of times what I'll do is at the end of their turn, you can quicken, then Anger the Gods for 4 mana, and everything's going on your turn. If they drop something too big, you can Rapid Hybridization it, and then Anger the Gods, which is also very nice to do. Alright, and now for the last ones, I'm running 3 Turn and Burns. Real good card for 1 blue and 2. You can turn something into a 0/1 and it loses all abilities. This makes it to where it can go into range for where you can kill it with a burn spell, or you can use this burn side, which is for 1 red and 1. It deals 2 damage to target creature or player. So for 5 mana, you can turn it into a 0/1 and burn it for 2, which is pretty helpful. Not to mention that it does lose its abilities, so it helps out a pretty good bit when it comes to the bigger stuff. This is the sideboard of the deck. Like I said, it's hopefully going to change whenever the next set comes out because there's not too much card draw. I would like for there to be a little bit more card draw. And a few more burn spells are a little bit better, like some X burn spells. I know Volcanic Geyser is type 2 right now, I believe. It's pretty good. I might actually end up adding them to the deck because you are going to stall out long enough to, let your mana build, and then when they tap out and in your turn, you can burn them for massive, which would be a good kill. So I might add those in at a later date. If y'all guys would like to leave me y'all's comments or whatever y'all like to do, so if y'all would subscribe or anything. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.